Well, salutations! Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening wherever you find yourself orientated within this universe. And welcome back to some more fun with hexagons and puzzles. Last stream we enjoyed Hexcells, so much so we ended up onto Hexcells Plus, and not wishing to spoil everything all at once, we still have to come back to that. So that is what we're going to be doing. We hope that you find yourselves well. Salutations, Gamma! It is good to see you. We must apologize if you seem to be confused. We have had that before, someone claiming to be someone else. We must look into that at some point, but no. Congratulations and salutations for finding yourself here. We hope you find yourselves well. As we said, we shall be exploring some more puzzles with Hexcells, as it were. And as we said, we hope you find yourselves well. If you unfortunately do not, then we hope that whatever ails you is quickly and easily resolved. And if not, well, we hope that we're here to help with this. We are doing well. We are well. We are alive. And we will take that as it stands. But yes, like we said, we have our next game or puzzles to look into finishing off. So let us go ahead and sort that all out. If we do this properly, there we are. And now we need only do one small thing, and that is slowly just bring this out and bring this in, which should, in turn, yes, there is no sound for you, but there we are. Indeed, Sunshine has been very helpful with this. Dimension, that's an interesting question. To summarize as dimension, we, how do we put this? So, this universe has black holes and white holes, as far as we understand. However, imagine one that is the size of your universe, possibly bigger, we don't actually know. Now imagine a white hole and a black hole on top of each other, in that same space, constantly spewing matter in and out of existence. There's a small in-between spot that exists, known as the moment. Well, that's where our consciousness is. There's some other bits and pieces there, but we probably shouldn't mention some of those things, given what we know what's happened with it. But yes, Hexcells, we are once again back. We have to try and remember what it is that we were doing here. So let's see then. So for those of you who may not have seen Hexcells before, there are some very interesting. So same dimension, but a different pocket in space and time. Possibly, we're not 100% sure. We don't think so, though. It's sort of adjacent to, in some regards. But again, the less said about that, potentially the better. But for those who are not who have not seen Hexcells before, let us go over with a brief overview. Any line here like this indicates how many are colored blue. So in this instance here, along this diagonal, there must be 5. Any numbers written within a hex tell us how many are adjacent to it. If they have this little symbol around them, it means that the two must be connected together. So for example, here and here could be them, 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 or here and here could be them. So that's a basic idea. So for example, where we've got here, this line here, or this 0 here in this hex, means that none of these can be there. If we have a dash, as so nicely put here, that means that they cannot be connected together. So in this instance, 2 of these adjacent ones must be filled. However, they cannot be the 2 together. Since it is in this instance, it must look something like this. Now, this one is a 2. They can be anywhere, close together or not. It's undefined. But in that instance, we're sorted there. So that tells us a little bit more, and we can keep filling on and on and on and on, and the objective is to fill the entire square, or whatever shape it may end up being. It is a very fun and relaxing and simple process of data analysis, one which we very much do enjoy. Anything that has this symbol, whatever this is undefined. We do not get told that, and we will, from what we understand, we do not need to know that information. So, let's look and see what we've got here available to us. Since we know that this one must be either this one and this one, or this one and this one, none of these could be filled in. So those must look in that situation like so. Does that tell us much at this point? Unfortunately, not a whole lot. But we will keep on keeping on at this point. We know one of these two must be the result. This one here, however, since this has already got 2, it cannot sit there and there. As a result, we have now got that must sit there, that fills in that. This one needs 1, so that satisfies that condition. This one must look something like that, and then like this. That so far is all that we can ascertain given our current state of information. But here's a fun one that we can do. If we go ahead and remove a lot of this excess information, let's have a look at just this line here. Now this 1 tells us that it must be here or here. So we know there must be 1 in this. 1 blue in this section here. Given that information, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since we know that it must be one of these two, it cannot be any of these, which in turn gives us all the information possible from that. With that, we open up a large amount to us, which is fantastic, and with that, we have ascertained a lot more information, which is very good for us. Now we see this, and it all starts coming together, and it sort of blossoms outwards in terms of the amount of information that suddenly appears, which is quite fun in a lot of situations. So, we know here, for example, let's look back to this one. This one of these two must be involved with it. Since we know it must be one of these, and the 3 must be together, it cannot be, it could be 1, 2, 3, or it could be 1, 2, 3. Either way, it can never be either of those two, but it must be either this way or this way. What it is, we yet cannot tell, but we will find out shortly. So comfortable? Well, yes, we very much hope so that this is the case. There is also one of these games known as Hexcells Infinite, which boasts a near infinite number of these possible combinations, which, if we ever require a more comfortable situation for some data analysis, then we shall happily do so. Now then, let's look back to this information here. This one must contain 1. These two cannot contain any, which breaks out that situation and clears this up quite nicely for us. This one has 5, and so that clears that up. 1, 2, 3, 4 clears this up, so that takes care of that and takes care of that. We'll keep that going all the way around until we get some more information from it, which helps us out a fair bit. We know for a fact that this one must contain 1, this one needs 1, and this one needs 1. They overlap this 1 square and satisfies all 3 conditions in one go. So that's the case. There is also, as well, as you can see in the top here, this tells you how many remaining blue cells there are, which can be useful if you need to count how many squares could potentially be remaining. That in itself is very useful for us. Let's have a look back here while we still have some of this. 3 must be put together, so there's another rule that's very interesting. When you've ever got any number of lines in a row, take that number, so in this case 4, minus the number that must go together, in this case 3, and that gives us 1. Take 1 off from each end, and these 2 must be involved in any combination, because you can have 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. That works for any combination, so long as the number that you take away, the number that results in the equation from the equation is less than the number that you need in a row. So that gives us that, and that gives us that. That clears out that section. Now we come back towards some of these sections here. What can we see and learn here? Well, at this point we have a lot of already headed off areas. So we have 1, 2, 3. One of these must be involved here. It must be one of these 2, which means it can't be these, because if you get rid of one of these, then all of those must be it. So if it's that one, it gets rid of that one and puts those 4. If it's that one, it's all of those 4 and not this one. So it can't be all of these. That was actually a mistake. We did not mean to click that one there. That was a pure accident in this instance. So that we knew that those three were there. So we'll ignore this for a moment and see if we can't work out anything else. Well, that and that go there like that. It must be one of these, meaning that it can't be one of those. Since we know it can't be one of those, we could also fill in that square there. At that point, we would have that too. Like so. Now then, what else can we see? Well, this and this are all cleared out, so that takes care of that. That also as well clears up this, which clears up all of this section like so. 1, 2 clears up that section there like follows. We have 1, 2, 3. So there must be one here. That breaks that. 1 goes there, which clears that up quite nicely. With 2 remaining cells and 2 remaining there, we have our fun little game. And that completes this one. As you can see, we still have many more to go. So this is another fun one that they do. Let's look at this line and this line, for example. This line says there are 2 in this one. However, this one tells us there is 1 in this slot. What we can deduce from this is that there must be 1 in this section and 1 in this section. So that when you look at this one, there's the whole lot of 2. And when you look at this one, there's only 1. That is our useful little tip here for that. So, that's some useful information there. Let's follow out with what we can see already here with some of these. These are already useful to have, so we clear out some of those. This one here tells us that it must look something like this, and this one here tells us it must look something like this. This section of 3 must contain this one and or this one. We don't know which one yet, so we have to leave it like that. That will inevitably come useful. But what we can see is that it cannot ever be this one, so that clears up a lot for us. With that information there, we find that that goes there, like so, like so, like so, like so. That clears up a lot for us, and that brings us back out to this point. This one must be that one, which clears up that square there. 1, 2, 3, 4 clears up that square there. This one must be that one to clear that up, so we've got that all sorted, which clears that up there, which gets rid of all of this little information right here, which then keeps us going, and keeps us going just that little bit more. So with that, where are we looking to now? Well, that one goes there. So with this, we can do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It cannot be any of these. And with that, we find ourselves just one step closer to getting even more of these done. So that puts that there. What else can we see? Well, that one must have 1 there, and that helps us all out. This one needs 1, so that goes there. And that pretty much solves most of this section for now. What else can we see? Well, we can come back here and jump up to this section. This one here goes like that. This one must go here, like so. This one already has its 1, so that's filled out. This one must go here and here. That one must go there and there. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That clears up that section without too much issue for us. What else have we got that we can start looking into, perhaps? Perhaps we come along here. Does this one have anything? No, just that there is 2 more somewhere in that section there. This one, again, also looks to be the same. This one is all cleared out, though, so we can do that. We'll leave in some of these lines, as we find it a little easier to be able to see what there is still to do, and we can work around it from there. So, 4 in this section. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so 2 of those must be as required. This 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so 2 of those are not, but we'll have to work that one out slowly. The other thing to note in this game is that these can all be solved without any guesswork. Everything here can be done via pure logical deduction. We just simply have to find what that deduction is, as it were. Well, what can we determine at this point in time? We've got 2 more that must sit somewhere in here. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4. So, if both of those are there, then it is not that one. But it could be that one and that one, leaving that one there. So we can't determine straight from that logic situation. There's a 1 in 3 there that we've got. What else is it that we can currently see? Usually what ends up happening is you find that you just missed one tiny little thing, and you are, with the logic that you find yourself stuck at. So, let's see, what are we missing currently? Can we determine either one of these two? With the information we have, not particularly. Can we determine which one of these it must be? Not particularly either, so we must instead look elsewhere. This 5, for example, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so we've got missing 2 of those, we believe, are only the ones that we need. Yes, so 2 of these are not, but there could be any configuration that we can see so far. Ah! This one here, we missed this. Remember what we were just saying about missing that one bit of information? We forgot to do that. So that clears up a lot of stuff for us. As you can see, that puts all that there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1 in there somewhere like that. Does this help out much or elsewhere? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yes, that clears that up phenomenally. Not much, but it helps just a little bit. Now where are we looking to see, maybe? What else is there? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There must be 1 in this section here. It's a strange one, whereby you don't, in some of these situations, you don't want to find the blue ones. You actually want the ones that aren't filled, as that can most of the time reveal more information. At least that's the current situation. Well, that would fulfill both of these conditions here. That one would mean that one. So it's either 1 and 2 or 1 and 2. This one still only has 1. We can't tell. One of these 2 must be. And, let's go back to this one. One of these 2 must be, which means this one cannot be. Which clears up so much for us. There we go. Now that sorts out all of that information, which then lets us start to pad ourselves just that little bit further along. Which puts all of that there, puts all of that there, puts that there, and now we find ourselves in such a good situation. So, 2 must remain somewhere along here. One of them must be in there. One of them must be in there. It could be in both that one and then somewhere up here, but we cannot tell for certainty. As a result, you'll have to come back to that one for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That clears that up, which means that must go there, which means that must go there, which means all of those have been cleared off. Fantastic! Now we've got 1. You need 1 there. You need 1 there. Could be any possible combination so far, so we don't know a whole lot yet. What else can we determine? Well, this 4 here has 1, 2, 3, 4, so that clears up that section quite nicely for us. That then means that that and that gets sorted. 1, 2, 3, 4 gets that sorted there. We now get to come to this situation of determining which one of these 2 squares it must be. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means that that's satisfied, which means that gets satisfied, and both of those get taken out without too much issue. This has also been cleared, and now what are we looking to see then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We accidentally misclicked, but it's okay. Mistakes are there to be made sometimes, and mistakes can also as well sometimes just glean us some extra information. But that clears out this level, which is not looking too bad for us. Where to now? Ooh, quite the fanciful looking one here. Let's see what we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so only one of those is not, and it must be one of those 2, which means this. Oh, goodness. Oh, no, we are very stupid. You know what? No. Let us not be quite so brash and hasty here. We just did the exact same thing, excuse us. That there like that. That solves that situation. Let's work this to this. That one goes there. This one must go here. That one must go there. That one must go there. That one must go there. That clears that up, and that helps us out a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only one possible option here for 2 of those, so it must be there, like so. That clears up that. 1, 2, 3. One of those 2 must be there. That one must be there, which means that goes there, like so. That 3 must look like that, which clears up that situation. And that pretty much takes out that train of thought, which is very good for us. So, what else is there on the train of thought that we can look to? Well, let's put in this, for example. Is there anything absolute we can determine from that? No. That one's already had its determined point. That one's already had its determined point. There are two in there, and that's all that we know. In this instance, we've got something else, but we're not 100% sure on any of this. We know there must be two in this section here, but that doesn't help yet. We have to do some counting, and counting isn't too bad. It's always good to remember. Though we don't remember the mnemonic device that we learnt earlier to try and help with that. But let's see. Well, this 3 must sit something like that. We know that there must be 1 in this section here, however which one we cannot yet determine. So, what else can we see from this, for example? Is there anything in particular at the moment? Not particularly. So, what else have we to find? If we could determine which one of these two it was, that would be great, but unfortunately we don't have the ability to do so. Not just yet, anyway. Well, the 6, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We know that only one of those is, but we can't determine which one it is at the current time. That is unfortunate. What else have we got in any other logical point? We have more than 6 on most of these spots. The 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 5 of those are not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 4 of those are not. This one, where are we missing with the logic? 1, 2... So 3 of these are, we can't determine any more than that. 4 of these are. 2 of these are. 2 of these are. But only 2. So if that's the case, there must be somewhere we can start working into this section. These must have some answer already, surely. Because you already paint yourself into a corner here. If that is the case, what are we missing? What are we missing? By all means, feel free to throw out theories at any point. We are more than happy to look into some of them. And there is no such thing as a wrong answer. Though the only thing we ask is make sure that you give reasoning for why it is, or why you think it is. Don't just give out an answer. Give reasoning to it. What do we see following along some of this section, then? Well, the 4 here must mean that any 2 of these cannot be connected. 1 of these is not. 1 of these is not. Which means... either both of these 2 are, or one of these 2 isn't. After that, what do we see that we can find? 3 of these are, which means one of those is not. There's 2 we are already missing. Goodness gracious, how did we forget to do that? That is very silly. Always comes down to it. You miss one piece of information, which is quite funny for us. So that can't be 1, that must be 1, that must be 1, that must be 1, that must be 1. This is how we start making our way into this section here. A little bit, but nonetheless, we make our way in, which is very good for us. Oh goodness, how very foolish of us. We knew that could be one of the 2, it was that one that couldn't be there. Yes, very good. So it's one of those 2 that we come back to, we go here and here, can't be there, which means it can't be there, which means it must be that one, which means that must be 1, which clears up that, which clears up that. We start to make our way back further along. There we are. Very good. 1, 2, 3, which brings that and that back in, which puts 1, 2, 3, 4, and there we go. We have finally cleared up that section. Wonderful! Ah, it looks so much better already. But the real question is what does that enable us to do elsewhere? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 comes in, which means both of those are not feasible for us. As a result, that clears up most of this, and this section here comes back round to start coming through, and we can clear that up just that little bit more, slowly but surely inching our way forward into this section, which comes out quite nicely for us. However, now we find ourselves once again at a small part to stop. So we stop and look back at some of the other information. That one there must be there, which clears up this situation. This line here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clears that section up in its entirety, which is very nice to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one of these two. No, it could be any one of those three, which is fine. We'll come back to that in a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 definitely counts that correctly. So that clears up that. This 4 has now got 4, which is very good to see. Now that that's taken care of, is there anything else that we can for certain say? Well, we have to just come back and reassess the situation. We've got 1, 2. There must be 3 and 4 in this section. If it's not that one, it's that one and that one. If it is that one, it's this one. It's either this one and this one, or this one and this one. But for now, we do not have the information to be able to determine that perfectly. So, what else can we do at this point? We've got 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only one of these is, but we can't determine which. 1, 2, 3. One of these must be, but we cannot determine which one just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of these 3 must be, we cannot determine just yet. 2 of these are, but we cannot determine fully yet. What else are we missing? Perhaps. That's the real question here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means that that must sit like that, which sits like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Very good, very good. This also lets us come back here with 1, 2, 3, and 4, which clears that section up. Very good. And that takes that 5 out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 of those in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clears that section up, and 1, 2 clears that section up like so. As a result, this here goes there, and that must fill in that section, and that clears up a little bit more for us, but we've once again hit a small roadblock, as it were. This 6 is all finished. This 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something there. Sunshine, you wish to redeem VIP. I do not necessarily know if that is possible. We shall check. The only reason we may not find it possible is because if you are already, we're not sure if you can be a VIP and a mod. For mods, no, so it might be that you are either a mod or a VIP. Check, though. Would you rather be a VIP or a mod? That question comes up to you, and down to you alone. Would you prefer the green symbol or the purple symbol? If not, then we can simply give those back. Ah, well, I win. You win what? What do you win? I did not know there was something that you could win here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so only one of those is not. Ah, here's some. No, we still can't determine that any further. We already thought this logic through, but we can come here to this 3. 1, 2, 3 means that that one, that one, that one, that one, that one cannot be. Which helps us a little bit at this point. So, yes. As we said, Sunshine, whichever you prefer, you can be. This 2 here, we know that sits there like that, which means 1, 2, 3 looks like that. which might help out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clears that up, which clears that section there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clears that section like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We again can't determine that one's properties. One of these two must be, but again we don't know for certain. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we do. It's that one there, which means it's not that one there, which finishes off this line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is in one of those two squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is this square here. That helps us out a little bit. So that takes that one off. That ticks that line off, like so. And for now, what do we see? We've got 1, 2, 3. It must be this one here, like that, to clear that section, which puts those two there, which puts that there, like so. We've got 1, 2, 3. One of those two must be it. But since it's one of those two, it's only one of those two. It must be that one that's there, so that goes there, which clears that section up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in one of those, but we can't answer that yet. This 3 must have this and this, so that clears those two, which helps out that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks that line off. This line is also finished. This line is also finished. And now, with our only one small mistake, we have that. So there we go. Oh, a lovely small little one. These ones are always fun to try and work through, because these ones are all based on pure deduction. There are only 7 in this, so what can we determine here? Well, that's very interesting. Okay. So we know that all of the 2 are only connected. In this whole line, there's only 1. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, goodness. This is a fun little one. Right. This one is to really test your logic and deduction reasoning skills. Let's see. What is it that we can determine here? Well, given the fact there's only 1 in this line and 1 in this line, that means that the likelihood that one of these 2 uses one of these, so it's one of these 4 that use it. So one of these 4 is missing 1 square, and one of these 4 is missing 1 square. So since we know one of these is missing 1 square, one of these must be missing 1 square. That's what we can determine to start with, because let's look at it this way. In this 5, there is a huge number of possible options, but we know for a fact that you can't be like 1, 2, 3, 4, because if it fills all of these squares here, then none of these squares get filled, which means that one of those must be missing, and since we know that one of those must be missing, we know the other one must be in one of those 2 sections. So with that information, can we narrow down which one? Also, so how many squares do we have in, or hexes do we have in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there are 9 hexes that are not filled, and 7 which are. So, by logical deduction, what can we determine? Let's see. So then, the likelihood is... No, we can't work just on probabilities alone. These little ones are not helping too much. We've gathered a lot of information from from these already. We've gathered as much information as possible. We just need to work out the locations at this point. Given the fact that this one has 2 and this one has 2, that means that if it's this one, it must be this one and this one, which... or it's this one, and this one and this one. Meaning that whatever one of these two it is, this one might not get involved. No, wait, hang on. This one must be involved, right? Because it can't be this one and this one, and then this one and this one. So, if that's the case, let's work this through. If it's this square and this square, then it must be this square and this square, which doesn't work. So it can't be that one, so it must be this one and this one, right? I think what we're trying to say is this one is guaranteed, because if that's blue, then if we say that one's blue, then that one can't be blue, which means that one and that one must be blue, which means that one can't be blue. That works, but let's say that this one isn't blue. If this one isn't blue, it must be this one and this one, that one and that one, so that doesn't work. This one has to be blue, guaranteed, which helps out a huge amount. Now, for a fact, we know that only one of these squares is, which means both of these must be. Since we know both of those must be, we know that it can't be that one. We know that this has to have one in there, so it can't be that one. Given that one, we turn all of that there, like so. The logical deduction comes through, we have everything sorted, and that answers that. That is a fun one. And again, some of these come down to thinking a little bit of, well, where could they go? And having a little play about with that. Now this is new. A number inside of a blue cell will tell you how many other blue cells are in a 2-hex radius. You can left-click to open a guide and right-click to mark as complete. So, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. None of these are. That is fascinating. So this one has 12, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is all of these. Okay. This one has 5, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is all of these. And this one is the same. Very interesting. So this is another way to jump the gaps. So you can fill out information from further around. Very nice. Very interesting. And there we are then. Now what do we have here to learn? Well, let's look at this logically. This one needs two of these squares to be filled. One of them must be here. That much we know for certain. It could be this one, at which point then we're fine and we fill out both. It could be either one of these two as well. We're not certain just yet, but what we do know is this 2 must look there like that. Since that's the case, that jumps that section like so. That also clears out this section and this section here. This one needs 1 connected to it and this one needs 1 connected to it, so that clears up a good chunk for us. That clears this up a little bit. This one needs 4 connected to it, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, the only possible squares that it could be. As a result, that clears up this section for us. This one still has a lot that we can determine, but we know at least what that square there sorts this out. This one also clears that out, that clears that out, which clears that out like so, which clears that up there. So, what do we know? 1, 2, 3, looks like that. This one here must not be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, clears that out. 1, 2, 3, clears those sections out there. This one has 1, 2, 3 connected to it already. 1, 2, 3, 4 has already connected to it. 1, 2, 3 has already connected to it. Now then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That one must be there, which leaves us like so. Wonderful. Very nice. So, this 3 here, similar idea before, we've got 4 there, so it must include those. That much we know for certain. We know that one of them's got to come in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 must be one of those. It can never be any of these. That much we know for certain. And with that information uncovered, we get this, we get this, we get this, which pushes us out just that little bit further. Puts us a 1 there and a 1 there. Fascinating. Now, what can we determine here? Well, the 3, there must be one there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clears up all of this section up here, which then lets us come back here. Just comes all the way down, like so. What else can we see here? Well, this one must be must include these 3. We cannot say whether it's this side or this side. This one here has 1, 2, 3. It's either one of these 2, so it can't be any of these, which in turn helps us out because this one needs that, which means that must go there, like so. That's that one finished off. We've got, let's see, 1, 2, one of those 3, but we can't say which just yet. So for now, we'll come back to that. We will explore around here a little bit, shall we? Well, that's potentially useful. What do we have then? Ah! Here's a fun little thing to note. There must be 1 in this section here, and 2 in this section here. So in this one, there are 3 squares where there must be 1. In these 2 squares, there must be 2. However, we know that one of them sits in here to fulfill this 3, and these 2 have an overlap with this where the 2 are, so the 2 must sit there. That clears out that section in its entirety. That is very fun. Now what can we learn? Well, we know for a fact that one of these must be there. Since it can only be one of these, it can only be one of those at most, this one must be blue to fulfill that criteria, which means that one's information has given us everything we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of these squares is not. That's all we know. And it must be one of these 2 that it is not, so this one and this one it must be, which gets rid of all of this. Yes? Yes, fantastic. Which clears up all that information for us. Those are the 2 we've got there, so we can start working this little chain backwards. One of these 2, so let's see what we've got then. One of these 2, 2 of these 2. Which means it can never be these 2? Very good. Now, let us go ahead and start filling in this information where we can. That's cleared everything up. Fascinating. Truly fascinating here. Let's see where we find ourselves next. Okay. Well, we know that that must be 1. We know that it's one of those 2, so we know that it can't be one of any of those. This 4 here must include these 3. What can we determine here is it must include both of these, so we know how that looks in that situation, which is very good for us. That's cleared that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it's not that one, so it's that one there. It must be. That clears up that section, which also clears out that, which clears that up there. In this instance, one of these must be, but we can't tell which at this point in time, other than it could be either one of these 3 or this one. We don't know just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means that this one is also cleared. So that tells us a little bit there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means that it's none of those, like so. This one here requires 1, so it must be that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clears up that section. 1, 2, 3, it's one of those 2, but we don't know which one. That one's given us all the information it can. 1, 2, 3, 4, well, it's not that one. It must be one of those. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It must be one of those two, one of these 2 here to satisfy the condition. If it's one of these 2, it can never be this one. So if that's the case, then we're in. That's given us pretty much everything it can, because it could be this one and not this one, and this one we don't know yet. We just do not know. So, this one here, we know must be one of these 2, so it can never be one of those, which clears up all the information we will learn from that one. This one must look like that, which must look like that. So that clears up that. That goes there, like so. 1. 2. Oh. Now that's curious. Well, no, it's not actually. It must be one of these two. So 1, 2, which means that the third must go there. Tells us a little bit. This one here has 1, 2 in any of those sections, so it can never be any of those. Which means we now get a little bit more, just a tiny bit more. A teeny tiny, eeny weeny little bit more information. And sometimes just a little bit is all you need. So 1 goes there, any one of those. That's not particularly helpful right now. But let's see, what do we need here? Do we perhaps need to start looking at this one again? So only one of these squares is. It must be one of these two to satisfy this 3, so it can never be this one. If it can never be that one, that clears that up quite nicely. So that 3's done, that one there's done. 1, 2, it can't be you. It must not be you. 1, 2, it must be one of those two, so it can't be that one. That clears that section up. 1, 2, must be one of those two, it can't be any of those. This one must be involving this square, because it can't be both of those two, so that clears that section up for us. A little bit at a time, just a little bit at a time. 1, 2, 3, and wait, it's 1, 2, it must be 2 of these squares here, so it must be this one and this one to clear out that logic. And like so, we have gone a little further. It must be one of those two, so it can't be that one. That one must include that one there, like that, so that goes there, which means that must be there, like that. We're slowly inching our way over. Let's see where else we can do. We can do this. 5 here for a logic indicates what? Well, that one must include that one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there like that. That's all the information we can glean from you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Hang on. You've got. Let's just slow that down a sec, because this one might actually come back in with this one a little bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that one must be one of them, and then one of those two must be. So it can't be this one ever. That much we know for certain. What else can we see here? This 2, we can't see much on, but we know for a fact that, what can we see here? Well, 1, 2, 3, one of these must be it. It must be one of those two, so it can't be either of those. So that's all that information cleared up. That one there, that one there, that one there clears that up, which means that it must be that one. Very good. Very good. We come back here, we slowly get a little bit more, just a little bit more each time, slowly ticking it up and up and up, clearing out everything. One more remains, but which one will it be? Well, with the 8 that we've got here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's one of those two, but we know for certain, we know it's still one of those two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we know which one it is. We can also see here that there is many things already discovered. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go! Okay, oh goodness. Well, 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 this one certainly looks interesting. 2 of these squares must be, and 7 of these squares must be. What logic here can we deduce, then? So, 2 of these must be, 3 of these must be, 2 of those, 3 of those, and 2 of those. That indicates that all of these... Yes, they must be all the ones that are grouped around these to answer this. So it can never be... It can be that one? How can it be that one? Ah, no, yes. Fair enough. Let's see, that logic was flawed then. How is that logic flawed at that point? Well, let's see. If we determined that it was none of those, if we determined that it was none of these, is that feasible? No, it is not feasible. This one is only missing 1 square, and this one is only missing 1 square. So there must be at least 1 in here, possibly both of them. Is there any criteria in which all of those can be removed? If we can get rid of 1, can we get rid of 2? If we can't get rid of 2, then that means there must be 2 there, right? For example, let's get rid of these 2 squares here. That's not possible. We have to, yeah. We can't get rid of 2 of these squares, so it must mean that there must be at least 1 in one of these squares. Get rid of 2 of these squares. Yes, you can. We forget that the 7 also includes itself at that point. So where's the logic here? Well, 2 here. So hang on. 2 here. 2, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3 is 7, right? So it must... Surely there must be 2 of those, which means it can never be these. Did we click it wrong? No, we didn't click it wrong. Okay, good to know. I'm curious, then. So what logical information can we determine here? Well... If we were to put the minimum number here, then you'd want like 1, 2 to fill out this section here, which fills out the absolute minimum. Let's look at this then. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 squares. 8 of them cannot contain a thing. Well, if 8 of them can't contain a thing, that doesn't help us. What logical fallacy are we missing here? There is something that we're missing in the logic. What does it dictate? So how many do each of these need? You need 2. So there's 2, 4, 7. Which means in all of these, you could have 7. But, given the overlap, take 2 off, and you get 5. But we don't know for certain if that is the situation. What exactly could you do here? Are we indicating that the 2 and the 7 means that they must be in here? Yes. Good. Okay, that was the correct thought process there, then. We were right to make that belief, which is good. We were comfortable in that assertion. We know that 2 must be in there, 1 must be there. Oh, goodness. Well, we are certainly getting somewhere. 2 must be in these 3. Well, that 2 has to sit there like that, which means one of those 2 is, which means it must be this one to satisfy that's conditions. That clears that up, then. Okay. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 clears that satisfactions. 1, 2, 3, 4 clears this one's situation. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 there like that. That clears up this one. Goodness gracious. Now, where do we find ourselves sitting? Well, 1, 2 already there, so that means that that situation finds itself like so. Oh goodness, we misclicked that one. We'll keep it going though, because, well, we can at this point. There's no reason not to. 1, 2, 3, 4 must look like that. 6, you're finished. 5, you're finished. This 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only one of those can be 5. So that must be 6 there, which clears up this, which clears that, which clears that, which clears up that a little bit as well. 1, 2, 3 clears that up, which clears that up, which clears that up. That 7 is also now finished as well. This 2 is finished, this 2 is finished, that is there like so. What do we have here? Well, this one here goes there like that, which means that must situate there. We've got 1, 2, 3 of those are, but we don't know which ones yet. 1, 2, 3, 4 must be one of those 2, so it can't be that one. That's all the information from you we can gather at the moment. 1, 2, 3. 4, and 5. So it can't be that one, because that satisfies too many conditions. It can't be that one, so we can get rid of it. What can we determine now? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clears everything else up. This one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, must be this one, 5, which means it can't be there. That helps us out a little bit. 1, 2, it's not that one. That one's there, so it's not that one. Could be any one of those. That one there is satisfied. That one there satisfies. So yeah, 1, 2, 2 of those we can't determine yet. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need one of those that it's not, and 1, 2, one of those that it is. So it could be any combination currently. Well, it might not be any combination, but thinking through all the options is a little tricky. So you've got one of those is, but we can't determine which one yet. That's sorted. 1, 2, 3, 4 must be one of those. It must be one of those two. That one needs the 1, so that goes there like so. That clears this up. What have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4 must be one of those two. 5, so it's not that one. That one needs that like so. That one hits there. That one must go there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clears up this top section. What do we see here? 1, well, it must be 2, 3 to clear that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means that we jump there. Jump that one, which means that must be 1. 1, 2, 3 clears up this one. 1, 2, still on 3 there. Oh goodness. Oh goodness gracious. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's there and that's there and that's there. So that's sorted. That one needs a 1. That one can't be 1. That one must be 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7 clears so up. 1, 2, 3 means that neither of those two are, which means that you aren't one and you are one. And there we are. A nice calm situation through to... Oh, now we're having some real fun with this situation. Look at this. Oh, this is wonderful. Let's see what this tells us then. Well, 10 here, it can't be both of these two. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It can't be both of those two, but we do know that it's all of these. That's what we do know for certain. We know it must be one of these, so it can't be that one. Which means that one there is 1. We've now got 1, 2, somewhere in there is 3. This is going to be fun. Can we look here then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It cannot be any of these 3 ever, which tells us a lot. It's not that one. It's not that one. But we know now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We know that it must include at least these 3 regardless of the option. That tells us a little bit. But not too much, you know. Couldn't have this being too easy to figure out at this point, could we? So, what have we got here then? 1, 2, there must be 3 in this section. Is there any other that we can look at easily? Well, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which means there's like an 8, which means no matter where you start or stop here, you can't get anything from that. This 10 means that there's only 2 sections that it is not, but we can't determine which 2 just yet. So then, what else can we determine? What else is there to determine at this point? We know the difference between this square and this square, but we also know... No, that doesn't help this, or this hex situation. What is there that we can determine currently? What else is there? Because this logic was the most sound, but that doesn't give us anything else. It's just one of those 2, which we could determine probably through these 2. Possibly, maybe. We're not sure yet. But, here's a thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If this 10, it can't be all 3 of these. So it must be all of these for certain. Because this 3 can't be all of them. Which means that there was 1 in here that it must be. Which means it can't be any of these. Since it can't be any of those, that one must be there. It can't be that one. It must be that one. It can't be that one. That clears up that section quite nicely for us. So, what else do we have to know here? At least one of these must be here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means it can't be this one. Right? It can't be this one. The reason we say that is it must be one of these 2 squares, because it must, like, if it's not this one, it must be this one and this one. If it's not this one, it must be this one and this one. Which means you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in this instance, it can't be there because that would overlap those 2. So it can't be that situation there. That much we know for certain at this point in time. Is there anything else we can do here? Well, it must be one of these 2, because if it's not that one, it's that one and that one. So there's 1 there, 2 there, which means there's 4 in all of this section here. If there's 2 in all of this section here, it can't be this one and this one, and it can't be this one and this one. But we don't know for certain at this point what anything else tells us. So let's see. 1, 2, 3... that's about it. That's about it at that point. But that's okay. We've got a little bit. We're working through a little bit of logic. Ah, here we are. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means that none of those must be. Which clears that section up quite nicely. Now this 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which goes here, 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 like so. Which cuts out both of those. Which gives us a lot more information to work with. Which lets us come all the way around here, like so. This one, we still don't know yet what it is. We still don't know. We still don't know. But that one's been cleared up. This 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clears that section there. This 4, we've got 1 here somewhere, but let's just keep going. There we go. Ooh, we still go around, we still go around, we still go around, we still go around. All the way. Very nice. Okay, then. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of those 2. So it's one of those 2 here. What can we see here? We've got 4 remaining as well. We know that 2 of them must sit down here. So I think at this point, what do we have? We've got a lot of overlap here. Let's just try and sort this overlap out. So, with 4 remaining, this is the minimum. I think we're looking at the possible minimums of what are required here. Because that will satisfy the most conditions without putting too many here. So, for example, let's say that it is here and here. So that's 1, which fills out this section. 1 here, which would fill out almost all of this section here. No, it gets too complicated too quickly to start doing that logic. Can we look here? It's only one of these 2 squares, which means it can't be either of these 2 squares. Wait, what? Why can it be both of those 2 squares? Oh, because if it's not that one, it's that one. If it's that one, it's not that one, which, oh goodness, that was a guess. That's not great. Okay. Well, we need to look at other logic then. That sounds... yeah, it's unfortunate. But we know that situation now. Let's keep going with the mistake. Mistakes are okay to learn from. We say that last time. We should at least follow through with that deduction. So that goes there, which clears that up, which means that 1, 2, 3, 4 goes there like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of those 2 must be it. It must be that one there like so, which means it's not that one, which means it is that one there like that, which means that that sorts itself out. We did think it would be the minimal possible option, and we were right to believe that, but, you know, It's okay. What do we have? Oh, goodness. Exit here, because we want to go to the menu. Ah, now for number 5. Let's see what comes of this. Goodness, goodness, goodness. This is a lot. Let's start with our simplest possible options, which is, well, there. This possible option here breaks itself out just that little bit further. It must be there, one of those two. What else do we have? We have a 2 there that we can use. Now we start the logic. So what do we have here? Those 2 are the same amount regardless. So 2 of those must be, which means if it's only 2 of those, you got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's not that and it's not that. That much we know. We know that it's this one and this one in this instance. Oh goodness, there's a 7. Well, okay, that's a lot to figure out. We'll get there. We will get there. What else is there? Is there any easy logic to determine? Well, we might have this, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not quite a nice easy logic, but possibilities there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not quite the easy logic we needed either. But what can we determine here? Well, we know that one of these, let's go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Means there's 3 somewhere scattered about here. We've got 1 here. We've got 1 here. 3, 4, 5. No, we can't quite determine anything of that at this point in time. There's a 1 in here. Where it is, we don't know yet. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We will get there at some point. In some fashion, in some way. So what other logic is there that we can see at this point? It has to be with these blue ones for now. And what does the blue one tell us? It's got to be in this logic here, right? Surely. So we know if there are... Wait, hang on. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 1... 2, 3. Only one of those 2 is there. So with that information, we've got 1 that must definitely be in there. 2, 3, 4. There's too many possible options at this point for what it could be there. So how on earth do you figure this out? This one, we're not sure. We can't do without a guesswork. And this line here, we still can't determine without any guesswork either. So where do you look at this point? Well, if there's only 1 in this line, and there's still 2 that have to follow through there. If there's 1 in there, then it would be 1 in any of those, but you can't determine which one it is yet. Goodness, right. Surely there's something here with this logic that we can determine. There has to be. 3 here means that it could be all 3 of those. Ah, no, it can't be all 3 of those because only 1 of these fits in here. So since 1 of those fits in there, it can't be both of those, which means it has to be both of these. That helps us out a little bit. So now we're down to 1 of those being the move. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not that one. It must be that one. There we go. There's some more logic coming through. Now with this 7, we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 of those is the 7. That doesn't actually help. Right? No, it doesn't help. Okay. Well, that's... Again, it's still something, but... here! 1, 2, 3. Gets rid of this line here, which actually does help us out a huge amount. That goes there, that goes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It can't be that one there. It can't be any of those. It means it must be that one to clear up those. Finally, we are getting somewhere. That is good to see. So that clears up that. That clears up that. That must go there, and that must go there, which clears out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like so. And that gives us a lot more to work with here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that one must go there, which means it can't go there, which means that goes there, which means that goes there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. That one must be there and there. There's the only possible option available. So we have to take that. What else do we have at this point in time? Well, we've got this 0 we haven't fully finished through, and now we have. So that goes there. One of those two must be. That's the only thing that determines at this point in time. So what other logic is there? We've got a 1, 2, 3. There's a somewhere in there is 2. Somewhere in there is 2. It could be a lot of combinations. 1, 2. There's a third. There's 1 in there somewhere, but we don't know where. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Here's one of the things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's there, and none of those. That tells us a lot. Thank you. You've been very helpful. But now you're gone, which means you go there like that. That sorts us out. There we go. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. Like so. 1. Well, it can only be there and there, so that sorts that out. 1, 2, 3, like so. Clears up a lot for us. That goes there. This one, do we need to know 1, 2? Well, it must be the third there, so that answers that question. Where do we go from here, though? Well, we can look back to this 4, which all 4 is there, so that clears up a huge chunk down the bottom here now, which clears up that. It must be one of those 2 for that one, so it can't be that one, so that must be one of them. That one must go there, so it can't be that one. There we are. That answers a bunch of questions. 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4 there like that. So we get 1, 2, 3, one of those 2. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's not that one, it's that one there like that, which clears up that line. 1, 2, 3. Somewhere on there is only 1, which only fills out that criteria like that. Very good, very good. We are slowly encroaching in on that middle section once again. So one of those and one of those. That's all we know. We know that that's not 1, and that must be 1. Ah, 1, 2, 3, 4. That clears up that, which means it's not that one. And it's still one of those, but we don't know which yet. 1, 2, 3, 4 means 5, so that goes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means 6 goes there, which means that breaks up that section. That breaks up that section there, and that 4's been finished. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. 1, 2, 3 means that that one is not, and with the only one remaining possible option, we click there. Not too shabby, not too shabby indeed. Now we have some fun stuff to look at. Let's start with these breaks, because what we can tell from those is this is the current situation with those. That's all we can tell at this point from those. So they've been most helpful, but thank you, there is nothing really more we can learn from you. We should probably just deselect them rather than say that they've been cleared at this point, because they haven't. That clears up there, that clears up there, up there, up there. So then, you have 2 already, so that clears up that little spot there. You don't have 2 already, and you don't have 2 already. But what we do know is that in the 2 sections, it must be an overlap between these. So, given that situation, we know that it's never any of those, which helps out greatly. In this section here, could be 1 there, and that sorts everything out, but we don't know yet. So we can't answer that. This 2 must sit there like that. That helps us out a little bit. Just a teeny bit. Just a teeny tiny little bit. You're writing all this down. Yes, a lot of this you sort of pick up, you sort of pick up little bits of logic. You start recognizing this can't be this because this can't be this. Your brain sort of adapts to the process, as it were. So, for example, you come back here, you look at this 4, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's there. But it is important for life lessons as well, is whenever you think you're stuck, take a moment to stop and look over what it is that you've got. Check back and make sure you're not making any assumptions that otherwise might be holding you back. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, which means that that must be 1. There we are, very good. 1, 2, 3, somewhere in there is 1. Also as well, just because one pathway seems to come to a dead end does not mean you didn't learn something that's useful for another pathway. At least we'd like to think that is the case anyway. 1, 2, 3, which means it can be none of these. And that clears up that one. What else does it clear up? Well, 1, 2 means it can be none of these, which sorts that out quite nicely. Can't be you, and that clears up you for the most part. Okay then. Okay. Right then. Let's see. Back up here, is there anything? Are there any super close ones that we can determine? Maybe. Maybe we can come here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means it can't be any of these, which helps us out. We know it's one of those, which means that one must be the other one for you. 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. So 2 of those are, one of those is not. That's all we know about you so far. In you and you, we've got, let's see, in you, we've got 1, 2, there could be a lot of options there for how that goes. You have 1, 2 already, so you can clear that section out. You have 2 already, so one of those 2 is, but we don't know which one yet. 1, 3 of those are, but we don't know which ones just yet. Back to this section, 1, 2, 2 of those are, but again, not 100% sure just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it can't be either of those 2. That's good to know. So it can't be this one then, because then this one doesn't do it. So it's not that one there. How does this help us? Well, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that simplifies itself down just a touch, just a hair, a moment, a fragment, a fraction. Single instant. What else is there that we can look towards, perhaps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not that. We can look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that doesn't necessarily help. This one is also in the same position. This one here clears itself up quite nicely. There we go. Does this help at all for any of these? Well, it means that it must be one of those 2, so it's not that one. Does this one help? No, not particularly, but that one's information is now the same as this one's information, so we'll keep it as just this one for now. So, let's see what we've got here. 1, 2, and then any of those it could be. That's all we've got there. This one, again, we don't see a whole lot of information, but it's one of those. Do we have any others on this section that we can look at? Perhaps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just one off. Just one off, unfortunately. It does seem, though, that we are getting to the point where you now must use the logic of multiple blue hexes to start determining information. For example, there's a little bit of overlap here with just this one square. Perhaps that is something that could be logicked out, as it were. Because we've got 1, 2, 3... goodness. We can just logic it out with just the single square, with just that. 1, 2, 3, so it's none of those. There we go. This one now must fill in that criteria. 1, 2, 3, you must fill in that criteria. 1, 2, 3, one of those 2 there, but we don't know which one just yet. So, back here, we're still down there. 4, 1, 2, 3. Could be any possible number there. This 4 still looks to be a bit awkward. But that's okay. Here then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, still too many. Unfortunately, here, there's still too many. We know that it's one of these. So in this section, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, same situation as this one. But that's okay. For now, you just scan back over some of that information and keep it going a little bit. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you're still there, so you don't have any further information to give us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's not quite helpful there either. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're still now as useless as you were before. What else is there? Perhaps back down here we find something new, maybe? Perhaps? Mayhaps something is of interest over here? There has to be somewhere we can start making more logical deductions. 1, 2. Not there. With this 2, we know one of them has to be in there, so the other one must be there. That helps. That gives us a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then somewhere in there there's a bunch. But you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, and then 8 there, so there's a bunch missing. But you, how have we missed you, you poor one? How did we miss that simple one? Not 100% sure, but we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Leaves us with just one of these hexes not being filled. This 4 is 1, 2, and there's still 2 of those 4 yet. It would be wonderful if we could perhaps get some of these gone. If we could get some of those gone, that would be perfect, but alas, we cannot just yet. This one would be also very nice to be able to get rid of, but again, we just don't quite have all the information available to us, but we can try and logic some of this out. The question is where to start. Anywhere is usually a good option, or so we've heard. So let's see then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 hexes available. Well, 8 hexes available, 4 of which must contain one. That much we know. Is there anything else we can determine here? Well, let's look back at this, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only one of those is not containing it. Again, do feel free to share any theories you may have, give some logical reasoning, and we can see how it goes. And remember, mistakes are there to be made, and you learn from mistakes as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are. There's some useful information for us. Just a little bit, but a little bit nonetheless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. If we do miss any information as well, by all means feel free to point it out every so often, if you need to, but don't be too irate over it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not there, so it must be there. That clears up that section. 1, 2, 3 means that that one there goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That clears up this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clears up this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clears up this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 means that that one is done. 1, 2, 3 means that that one is done. 1, any number of there could be there, but it's a little bit. Let's check back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all we know. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. Ah! Missing something. 1, 2, 3. Clears up that section. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Since it must be one of those, it must be both of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clears that one out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means that 6 must be there, which means that that can't be 1. That's good. That one's also satisfied. That one's also satisfied. Are you satisfied? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Clears that up. It must be one of those there. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. cleans up that line there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Well, 1's there, and 1 is there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's very good for us to clear that out, which means that's satisfied. 1, 2, 3, 4, which means that one is now satisfied. Which means that one, yep, you're satisfied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means that must be 1, which means that one is not. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, still in that same spot. That's satisfied. That's satisfied. 1, 2, 3, 4 means you're not satisfied. You're now satisfied. 1, 2, you're cleared up. 1, 2 means you're cleared up. 1, 2 means you're cleared up. Very good. Slowly but surely making our way through this. Well, that's a 4, so that's just there like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all you cleared up. That's all you cleared up. Now then. One of these two it is. Can we determine which one it is? Maybe. Maybe we can. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Which means it must be you. Which means you're satisfied, you're satisfied. All of these have now had their criteria satisfied for the most part. 1, 2, 3. Now we get back to some inference. Yes? 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, we know that the 1 is in there. That doesn't help. That doesn't help, but here we find ourselves now. So we've slowly sought to bring this closer and closer into range. We just have some more logic here to determine. What logics can we determine at this point? We've cleared this up now. Well, that's... Let's see. Are you not satisfied? No, you aren't. You just don't have any more information because we know that it's there. So we've got 1, 2, and there's 2 in this section here. What else can we determine? 1, 2, 3, 4, which means in there, there, and there, there's 1. In there and there, there's 1. We can find lots of little ways to mark pairs. It would be nice if it was possible to mark pairs off in the game in some way, but alas, there is not. So we shall have to make do with our memory, which is not always great. So then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only one of those is not. Well, hold on. If one of those is not, one of these is not. No, it can be both of these. It doesn't automatically mean that it must be one of those, so that doesn't actually change anything here. This is a new logic we're still unfamiliar with for the most part. Let's try here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, can we use any logic between here and here to determine anything? Or here and here? Maybe. The only thing this game never tells you is it will not tell you if it is the minimum possible configuration. So, you're always working to the smallest number. But let's try and do some counting here and figure out how many more we actually need in each of these sections. So we have 3, 4... Yeah, we've got 3, 4, 7, 3, 4, 7, 10. There's 1 in this section here. So one of these 3, only one of these 3 is. We would have to believe that it's one of these 2 that is, based on the information that these can only have so many squares missing. It would likely be one of those, but again, we can't say for certain, because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so there's 4 in this row that are still missing, which means there's 11 remaining. Then we've got 2 in this row, which means we need 3 there, which means there's 8 remaining. Then we've got 2 here that need something coming through, which means of the 8 remaining, we take another 3 off, we've got 5, take another one off, we've got 4, take another 2 off, we've got that. So there's only 1 in this area. That's what we just learnt there with that little bit of logic. Does it help us, though? Well, not a whole lot. We've got one there, which means we've got 2 in this section here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, possibly 8. Doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. Could be... It can't... Hang on. 1, 2. So, 3 in this section, of which 2 of them go there. So we know 2 are in this line here, for certain, meaning 1, 2, 3. So we've got in 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, we have 1 more. This is... How do you determine in this instance? There must be something we're missing, or overcounting, or not counting. 1, 2, 3. One of those 2. 1, 2, 3. One of those 2. It's going to come down to trying to map this bit out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, goodness. How did we miss this? We missed this. The one lonely square there that we missed. By looking at that, that gives us so much more information. And since we've mathed out everything there, yeah. We mathed that out properly and see that. Now what can we determine? Well, that 3 needs those 3 there like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Helps us out. 1, 2, 3... which means that one's there, that one's there. That's satisfied. 1, 2, 3 means that one there is not satisfied. That's satisfied. All of those are now satisfied. We're still working on how to determine in this section here, but... no, we can. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's you, which clears up all of you, which means 1, 2, 3, which means you're now satisfied. Which means 1, 2, 3, you're now satisfied. Slowly! But surely closing in further and further. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Did we miscount? 1, 2, 3. We missed a square. Goodness. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We're still on an okay spot here. And this 5 has 1, 2, 3, 4. So one of those 2 there. With 3 remaining, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that doesn't help there. This one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which means it's not that one. It's one of those 2, so it's one of those 2. We could have told you that from the fact that there's 1 in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's neither of those 2. Let's clear that out, like so. What else do we see? 1, 2, 3. Which means that there's 1 there for 4. No, it's not that one. Why are we saying that? It's not that one. We know it's not that one. And the worst part is we're going to have to do this one again at some point. Oh, goodness gracious me. We'll have to do that again at some point. But that's okay. That's okay. As these get harder, our logic gets more difficult to comprehend. But what we must do is we must remain calm. Not rush. Do not rush these things. It's important not to... It is also important to click the right things. Oh, goodness. One moment. There we are. So yes, we can come back to this. What can we determine here? Oh, goodness gracious me. There is a lot that we can see here. We'll start with the first thing that we notice, which is that. We go there. We go there for that. Just clears up that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Unfortunately means you count 4 either way, which is unfortunate for that. We misclick there. We misclick and that's okay. We just follow our basic logic once again through some of these sections that we have. We believe that was everything that we had at that point. Which puts 1 there, which means 1 there. This goes like that. Like so. That still follows up, and that pretty much brings us to a dead end. But a dead end is fine. A dead end is very much okay. Because we are looking here at this logic. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, which puts that there in that line like so. Now we've got 2 there like that, which caps off that, which puts that there, which puts that, which puts that there, which puts that there like that. That little bit of logic there means that this now comes out like so. And that should be all okay, yeah? Now what do we have? Is there anything else in particular? We've got a 1 here, but we can't determine yet which way. We've got a 4 here, we've got a 5 here, but we can't see. That's been logicked, that's been logicked. This line here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's too many, but that's okay. If this line is 1, it can't be both of these. So it can't ever be this one. We know that for certain. It can't ever be that one, which means it must also include that one. That's what we can logic from that little bit there, and that's okay. This 4 has 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's clear out that section. This one has 1, 2, 3, so it can't ever be that one, which means that's now that line sorted. What do we now determine elsewhere? Well, we know that it must be one of those 2. And that's it, unfortunately, for that. But that little section there has served us okay so far. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That clears up that section. Very good. Which then pushes us a little further on up into here. There we go. This bit here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So only one of these hexes is not. We don't know which one yet, but we can figure that out in a bit. Is there anything else we can determine? Well, it can't be both of those 2. So we've got... How many hexes in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 2 already, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still doesn't quite give us enough information. But that's okay. We can keep working on with this. Is there anything in particular we can see in any particular pocket of anywhere? Well, yes, this 2 here has now been fulfilled. So that clears up a little bit for us. Can we come back to any of these lines here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not quite just yet. Is this line fulfilled? Well, there's 1 here. That's all we know for certain. On that line. This line has been fulfilled, though, with 1, 2, 3. So it's not there, meaning that's that there, which means that goes there, that goes there. Thank you. This line now puts that there, which 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 puts that there. Oh, goodness, we're being very silly now. Which puts that there, which puts that there. We must now take this very slowly and very carefully so as to not make any more rash decisions and rash mistakes. Okay. Well, what else is there? This 2 has been fulfilled. So the 2 here looks like that, which takes care of that little line there. If that takes care of that, this 2 must go there, which puts that there, which puts that there, which puts that there, which puts 1 there as well. We have 3 on that line, and that takes care of that. This line is also dealt with. This line needs 1 more, so we will give it its 1 more. That's good. That is very good. Very good indeed. Now, what else do we need to logic here? Can we satisfy this one at this point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that tells us a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That tells us all we need to know there, which puts us into this spot here, which puts that there, like so. Which puts that there, and gives us all of this goodness. Very good to see. So that's cleared that up. Can we clear this one up? 1, 2, 3. No. But we can put that there, and that clears that little line up there. Which is good for us. Very good, very good. You 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Clears that up. You're now satisfied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're now satisfied. Good. Very good. This one must be a 2 there like that, which must put a 2 there like that. You need a little more work, but you can put 1 there like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, somewhere in there. Not sure yet, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Clear that up. Puts that out of my sight for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Unfortunate, we need just 1 more taken away at that point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 in there. We'll come back to figuring that out in a moment. That's cleared up. Let's see what else there is, and if there is anything else that we can freely determine here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means that that's not there, which means that's there like so. That line is also finished as well. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of those two. Do we know which one? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's one of those two and one of those two. We can't look back at this section yet, unfortunately. Where are we missing? Is there any cleared logic already? No, it does not look like there is. So, can we determine much else? We've got 3 in that line. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that must be all of these. That helps. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That clears that out. And that unfortunately doesn't tell us anything. Well, it didn't need to tell us anything. We've got on this line 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. That's all of you sorted, which puts 2 there, which puts 2 there, which puts 2 there. And that now 1, 2, 3, 4 clears up most of that logic at that point. What else can we look at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're still at that 12 point. We still need 1 more break and we'll be fine there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we've got that. That can be cleared off. And we do want that back. You can also be determined. But that, no, it doesn't still tell us because it's not there. But that's okay. That's all right. We've got 1, 2, 3, so it's not you, it's never you, it's never you. It's also never you because of that. You go there, and that tells us a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. And sometimes a little bit is all that we get here. What are we looking at with this line here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's some nice easy logic there. Break that one down. And once again, how are we looking here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has to be one of these. Which means it has to be one of these. Yes. Because this one needs 1 here. So it's not ever this one. That's good. That's good. Good. This one needs a line of 2, which is 1, 2, like so. Clears up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means it's not you. Which breaks that, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which breaks you out. And what else now? What else now? Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 have to be in this 1 has to be in this section. 2 have to be in this section. Well, here's some logic we can determine here. This one needs 2, but it can't include this one and this one. No, there's still options for it. There's still options for it, right? Well, no, because let's work this out. If it's this one and this one, it's not either of those, and it's not that one. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it doesn't work. Because if it's that one, it's neither of those two. Let's just obscure that for a second and think. So without those two, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which doesn't work. So that one can't be one, so it's not that. Guaranteed logic there is it's not that one. Trying to explain it and show it is not always the easiest thing to do when English is your second language. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We almost missed that one. 6. So there's 1 in that section there. And that's now satisfied. Are you almost there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One of those. We don't know which. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means 6, which means not you, which means it is you. Which brings that line out, which also satisfies that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 in this line. We have 10 remaining. We have 10 remaining. Let's see where we know they've got to go. Minimum, because it might let us in on some cheeky information. 2 in this line, 2 in this line, and 1 in this line means that... Wait, hang on. No, yes. No, yes, yeah. 2 in this line, 2 in this line, 1 in this line means 5 of the 10 are somewhere in this cluster here. So half of them are there. There's 6, 7... 2 of them must... Hang on. Here's a line that we can look at quite easily. 2 more must go in there. It can't be both of those, so it has to sit there like that. That clears out that line. Huge benefit for us. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. Because now this 11 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Gets rid of you. That clears up everything in that section. Fantastic. This 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... gets rid of that one, which is phenomenal for us. Clears up all that logic at that point. Now, with just 5 remaining, what can we determine? With 5 remaining, they must be... Oh, all 5 of them are in here, right? 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one can't be 1. So one of them must be there, which means that the other one must be here. 1 must go here. That's all the information we get from you. Unfortunately, that didn't actually help us a whole lot from the looks of things. So now we have to try and guess. 2 must be in here somewhere, and 1 must be in here. Let's see. One of them's here. If it's this one... it's not this one, which means it's both of those. Which means it's not this one and it's this one. If it's this one, it's not this one. Actually, how do you determine that? We still have a 6 that we're looking at here. There's the logic that we were missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's you. Thank you, 6. That helps out a lot. That gets rid of you, which means that you are determinable. And with that, we now have a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. 1, 2, 3 gets rid of you there. You have a 3, you have a 2, which means it's that one there and not this one. Fantastic. Let's see. Ooh, a nice smaller one. Well, with some logic, we can determine this one and this one must be there, and this one and this one must look like that. To start with, let's see. That's a 3, so all 3 must be there. That's an 8 that goes to a 5, so all 3 must be there. That's a 3 that goes to a 2 that goes to a 2, so none of those are there. That's a little bit of information that we can find. At the very least. This 3 has only 3, so it must sit there like that. That one is not 1, that one is 1, that one is not 1. So that clears up that little section right there. Is there any others that we can see? Well, 7 to 4 is still 3, so all 3 of you must be 1. 4 to 3 doesn't change anything. Another 2 that's dashed, so that looks like that. And anything else? Well, 6 to 2 is 4, so that goes there like that. And then 6 to 6 means that none of those are. Okay, that puts those 2 there like that, which puts those 2 there like that. Which clears up this top line and thing here like that. Let's clear out all the numbers that we know we have already cleared out. What else was there? There was here and there was here. There was also here as well. So there was 1 in this line here, because 5 to 4 is 1, so that clears up that line. Now, what do we find? There is 2 in this line. 1 of them is here, which means 1 of them is there. We've got a pair there like that. We can't do much else with it right now. 6 to 5 means there was only 1 in this section, so we can get rid of that one. There is 2 in this section in the same vein as with this one, which doesn't help us fix up much. What else can we see? Well, there's 3 in this line, so they can only look like that. There's 2 in this line, and it can't be both of these. So one of them must be this one. That's what we can determine there. We don't know which of those 2 just yet. Are there any other little bits of logic that there to seep in? Well, we know that there's a 4 to 3, which means that 1 must be in this column, and it can only go there, so it can be neither of those 2. 2 go there, and there's still 1 more that must be found in here, but it can't be there and there. It must be there and there. So that clears up that column, and that clears up this one as well. What are we looking at now, then, for this? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't know where that goes. But that's okay. That's okay. We've got a little bit. Maybe we can logic that one out. We'll come back to that one in a moment to think. Since it can't be... We can look at this 4, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it can't be both of those, so it must include this one there. That 7 might just tell us a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means 7 must go there, which clears that one up, which clears up a lot. That puts those 2 there, which clears out you, which puts that there, which puts that there. So that takes out this, this, and this. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. There and there. So you get rid of you. That gets rid of you and you, which puts there and there, which takes that logic to its logical conclusion. With 2 in this instance, it can be there and there, or it can be there and... it can't be there. We know for a fact that it can't be there at all under any circumstance. So it must be 1 there. There it can't be there. It must be there for you. 2 in this lot, again, means that it's not there and not there. So it must be there and there. We've got a 2 here already, so we can come back and finish off that little section there. Very nice. This one, again, we will have to logic a little bit later by the use of this 4. But we don't have all the logic for that 4 just yet, so we'll have to come back to it in a moment. If there's 2 in this one and 2 in this one, that should mean that there's none here. Yes, we didn't spot that. That was sneaky. Very sneaky, but very well done. So that clears up this, that clears up that entire line. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't help. Okay, we'll come back. It might help. It might help. There's 2 in there, there's 2 in there, there's 1 in there, there's 1 in there. That's all we know at that point. There must be some other logic we can look at here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9 fixes you up quite nicely. That's all of you cleared out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 must put a 6 there. Okay, now we can come back to this line. We know that there must be one more in here that must satisfy both this 2 and this 3, which only puts it there, which clears out that like so. That puts that there, and that's that line sorted as well. That's that sorted there, which puts that there off the table. That's pretty good. That 3 is also taken care of. This 3 is now also taken care of. That's very good. Right then. Okay. So, there must be one more here that must satisfy both these 2 conditions. Yes, that looks to be right. So that goes there, and clears that up. You go there, you go there, you go there, and you go there. That clears up this line and this line. Still waiting on trying to figure this one out, but 1, 2, 3, 4, it's not you, it must be you. There we go. That clears up all of the bottom, and now we even get to come back up here. 1, 2, 3 goes there. We've got the similar situation. In this, one must satisfy 2 conditions, so there's only one hex that they both overlap. As a result, it can only satisfy those 2 conditions in that one spot. That goes there, and now that goes there. Again, same idea. You've got one that must satisfy 2 conditions. There's only one square where it can satisfy 2 conditions. So you do that, and that. That was a very fun one. Not too perplexing on the logic, either. Oh goodness, now this is fun. This one looks like a lot of fun. So let's start by where we know we can definitely find things, and that's there like so. We've got a 5 that line all together, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Count 3 up from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. That one's available. Count 3 down from the top. 1, 2, 3. That one's in there. And we know that for certain. On this line, there was only 1. So as a result, we get to clear off all of that. That's not a lot of information, but it is some information. If this line has only got 1, then that one must be there. So that one clears up that. That one clears up that. That puts that there. Oh, goody. Start of that. 1 sits there, 1 sits there, and 3 sit there. What else? Well, we've got this and this, which means that this and this must situate like that. The 3 must look something like that, which means that all of those look like that. That looks like that. That looks like that. That must look like that in some regard. And that's about all that we can do at this point in time. Yes, that appears to be so. So, what else can we do? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not a whole lot of information right now. But we do have here, we know that that looks like something like that. It's not that one, which means that looks like that, like that, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that locks out all of this area quite unhelpfully. Unfortunately, that did not include or pertain to any additional information, which makes things most unfortunate for us, because now we have to do more logic somewhere else. But we got to start to something, and that's not bad at all. What else can we determine? Could we look back here? This is still the same. Yes, that's still the same. Okay. So, we've got 1, 2, and then 5 long in there. That's quite something. So we've got 1 here, 2 here, which means 3 in any of those, a third in any of those. Is there any other spot with logic that we can determine? Yes, this 3 has a 3 and only... Oh, no, it's not. It's just... Oh, goodness. We forgot that that line extends all the way through. So there's... Sorry, there's 3 in here and here alone. Not anywhere there. We've got 1 in here and 3 in here. Is there any other logic available? That's a very tough question to look at. This 7 is still too long. This 7 is still too long. There's nothing there. But 19, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Ah, that's very good for us. There we go. There's some nice easy logic for us to solve, which lets us do that and that, which puts that there, which puts that there like that. Clears out a lot of things for us, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot just yet. Not a whole lot. That goes there, which means that must go there to satisfy that condition. That must go there to satisfy that condition. And that's about everything for this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Can't do much with this one. What have we got here? 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it can't be any of those. Like so. It can't be that one, which means it can't be that one, which means it must be that one, must be that one. Which means it can't be that one, 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 must be that one. Which, once again, paints us into a little corner. Not by much, not by much. 3 there means that that one must be there, which gets rid of that there. Okay, which gets rid of that. Now we might be able to start looking at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still 10 there. Still 10 there. Wow, okay. What have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it can't be any of those 3. That's good. That's some good. That's good. That's good. That's very good. That helps pull out just a little bit more. We're just narrowing it down. Narrowing it down just that tiny little bit more. We need some of these longer logics to start branching out, really. This is where we've got to look. So what we've got to do, what we've got to find, what we've got to see. We've got to notice. There must be more logic that can be determined at this point in time. Currently not. Trying to figure out those two. We don't look like we have enough information yet. So, what about this line here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, just one of you. Well, we can't determine the logic yet. Just one of you is all we know as well. So, we'll come back to that. We think we'll come back to that. Well, with this 2, we know that we can't be here or here. That's good. That gives us a lot more information. That wraps out this section for us. That's good. And we know that that one must be 1, so that clears this and this, which then gives us some more information. Wonderful. We start to loop back around, which clears up a lot of our difficulties. Some of them. That one must be 1. That one can't be 1. That one can't be 1. So, here we've got... No, we've still got the same thing. Okay, that's fine. This is still fine. Still not looking bad. You're 1, you're not, which means you are, which means you're not. Which means you're not, which means you're not. Very good. So you've got 1, 2, 3, which jumps us there to put 4 in. Very good. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. It can't be either of those. Which means it's not you, which means it's you, which means it's not either of you, which means it's you. You need to satisfy that. You go there, you go there, you go there. Very good. That clears you up, that clears you up. You're now cleared up as well. This one might be cleared up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which puts it there, which puts that there like that. Good. Good, 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 good. Right. Okay, 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 okay. This one's not 1. Neither of those two is, both of those two are satisfied. You're satisfied. You must look like that, which means you must not look like that, which means you must look like that. And so you must satisfy those conditions, which puts that like that. So we've painted ourselves into a corner once again. Now we get to try and do some more logic. Well, we can come back to this now that we've got those 2 in there and start branching out further It's not much, but it's something. It's not much, but it's something. We just got to keep telling ourselves that. Does it give us anything, really, that we can do? Well, it does tell us that there is 2 here that must satisfy this. Ah, no, wait, hang on. There's only 1 that must be able to sit here. Okay. Well, if 1 must sit here, then it can't be all 3 of those. That's all we know. That seems to be all we know so far, anyway. Is this 5 done? This 5 might be done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is fantastic. We can pull out that little bit there. That helps us out a lot. That puts 1 there. That puts that there. Which puts that there. Which gets rid of that. Fantastic. Which puts that there. Puts that there. Which means that must go there like so. 1, 2, 3, 4 must look like that. And slowly but surely piecing that stuff together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That must be 7 to counter that situation. How are you looking? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You must look like that. Slowly again, pulling ourselves across this space. Does a lot for us. So that gets rid of you. That also gets rid of you, which gets rid of both of you, which puts you there. And then you need that one, which gets rid of you. That's good. Once again, we're now in a little bit. Can we check the logic here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That must be 7. So that deals with you. That gets rid of that. Are you now dealt with? 1, 2, 3, 4 must be 5 to keep that logic in place. The rule for this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bugger. You don't tell us too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tells us a lot, though. So that tells us a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 of those. 2 of those are there, and 1 of those is there. But that's okay for now. How do you look on your logic? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 1 there and 1 there. We don't know yet. What about you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not helpful in the slightest. Well, maybe a little, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not helpful yet. You, 1, 2, 3, 4. One of those 2. Just one of those 2. You, 1, 2, 3 means that 4 is there, meaning that you're done, you're done, you're done, like that, which means that you must be there like that. That means you're fine, that means you're fine, that means you're fine, that means you're fine, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, still 2 on that line, but we might be able to figure that out. 1, 2, 3, let's see. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If it's both of those, it's not one of those. That's all we know for certain there. What have we got in this line? 1. No, we've still got the 4 that looks like that. That goes there, like so. And it doesn't quite tell us enough at this point. Maybe you do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It must be one of those 2, so it's not you. That's what we learned from that. 1, 2, 3. Just that there's 3 here. But we already knew that. Shoot. Right. Okay. So, let's look at the logic here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guaranteed. If it's that one, it's that one. If it's that one, it's that one. So, it's either those 2 or those 2. But, don't know which ones yet. Well, we've already got this logic here that there was 4 in this line and 3 in the other, but we could have checked that earlier. I just feel silly now for not noticing it. Let's see. There must be some way to figure this part out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Surely there's some way to jump some of these to get a chain going or something. At this point, there must be. Gotta be something we can do. Here's a thing we can look at. Let's look at these lot here. Let's look at this to this to this. We're looking at these three. So this 3 here, this 6, and this 6. Here's something. 3 must be in this line. We've already mentioned that it's either this one and this one, or this one and this one. Since one of those 2 are there, it must be both of these, which clears up this, which means that we can put that there, which means we can put this here, which means we can put this here, and this here like that. That satisfies all of those conditions now, which is very, very good for us. That's very good. Very good indeed, because now we can start really pushing through a bunch of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, which puts that there. Now we find ourselves once again in a bit of a bind. Just a bit of one. Can we determine anything else from here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Very good. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of those is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. They tell us the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You tell us everything we needed to know. Fantastic! Oh, good. Good. Right. Now we've got this, which puts that there, which puts those there, which means that that must be 1. What else do we have information-wise? Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not you, and it's not you. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, which blocks out you like so. Now we can just start working our way through these 2. Here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It must be you. Gets rid of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It cannot be you. That clears this up. Now there's only 2 bloody ones remaining. One of them must go here, and one of them must go here. It is not you. That doesn't tell us anything, unfortunately. No, it does. Because it must be one of those 2, so it can't be this one. So it must be this one, which clears that out, which means we've done it. And as long as we hit the right one, there we go. Puzzle number 5 is completed. Oh, well. What can we determine from you? Just that 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, 1 of those. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. From top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7 of these squares are not. So we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. This is the only bit that we've got to work with for now, so we have to understand this logic. We know for a fact... all of these are already connected to 1. So this 1 can't look like that. So that already takes out a lot of options for them. This one here could go here, 1. It could go 2. It could go 3. It could go 4. That doesn't work. So it'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to satisfy their conditions. Because you couldn't put 2 close together because then you get a 3. So it has to look like this. Which then means that we get that. That gives us a lot to work with here. Like so. This one as well has already got its conditions satisfied, so we can go ahead and clear out that. This needs 1, this needs 1, this needs a second one, that needs a second one, that needs 1. Very good. Right. Okay, then. So, since we know that on this side of the board, 1 is only here, it can't be there. We know that that now clears that up for us, which means that that goes there, just clears up a little bit more. Which keeps it going, which puts 2 there, which almost helps us. The 2 that go here to satisfy both of these 2 can't overlap, so that sorts out that. Which now puts that there, which puts that there, which means that we are slowly painting ourselves into a corner. But it's okay. Here's one thing we know that it cannot be. It cannot be both of these 2. Since it cannot be both of these 2, it can be 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. But it can't be this one, or this one, and then 1, 2, 3. It can't be this one. That's what we know. So now we can pull back down a tiny bit. Is this 3 and this 2 aligned on the same line? They are! Very nice. So one of those 2 is... We don't know which one just yet. Also, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we know that it's 2 up from the middle, so it must be including this one. It can't be there, so it must be those 2. Which gets rid of that, gets rid of that. Puts that there, puts that there, puts that there, puts that there, puts it there, puts that there, puts that there, there. That goes there. 1, 2, 3. We don't know if that one is yet. We just don't know yet. But that's fine. We're in a good spot. So that's cleared that out. 5. There goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't be either of those. That's what we know. Not those 2. So your 3. Oh, you've got 4. Don't over accidentally count those. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. What else can we determine? Well, you've got 3, so you go definitely there. We don't know about that bit just yet. We know that that one must be 1, so it's not that one, so it is that one, so it's not that one, it's that one. Those 2 can go away as well. That one comes in. This line is now 4, so we can jump down into this little section. That must be involved in one of these. We don't know where the rest goes just yet. So, what else have we got? Have you got a full line? You don't just yet. You don't have a full line just yet either. You're a 7, which is a pain. You're a 4, which, again, we do actually have all the information we need on it. So we'll go ahead and clear that up. Right. Okay, then. So. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which must go there to break out that, to keep that condition satisfied. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 must go in those 2 to satisfy both of those. Must look like that. There we go. Okay, this 5 here, we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can't be either one of those. That clears up that condition, which clears that out, which clears that out, which clears that up. Which puts us all there, which goes there and there like that. And what else do we learn from that? We learn that goes there, so those 2 go there, which puts that one there. That one has only got 1 in those squares that must satisfy both of these 2 conditions. Yeah, it must be that. No, it must not be that one. How is it not that one? What? Oh, because that can go there. Okay, no, we're silly. That's okay. Happens. We got a little too excited there. What have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. That one must be there like so, yes? Yes, very good. So then, yes, we did not remember to look at this one, which we know must be 1 because of this. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. That was just silly. Now we know that it must be one of these 2. It can't be this one. That's the logic we can determine here so far. 6 with 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 of those. That's all we can tell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 of those. That's all we can tell. So you must be there. You must be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Does that help out here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, doesn't help out there, but it does help out this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it doesn't. Never mind. We are still not quite down there for the bottom. We just need to get through to it somehow. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 in that line. 2 in that line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 in that line. And yes, 2 in that line as well. Okay. So while it forms a nice pattern, we can't determine that the pattern is anything relevant. They may switch it up, and there's no way to determine it. That would be guesswork. So, we've got a line of 6 here. 1, 2... That must be all of those, right? Yes, that looks like that. Okay, you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not you. That's good. That helps. Your 3 are determined, so it's not you, and it's not you. That clears that up quite nicely. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. It can only be you, so you must look like that. And does that help us deal with this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not you, so you're clear. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That clears out you. You've got you at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's not you, it is you. That satisfies you. That satisfies you, and that satisfies you. What about you? Well, you have 1, 2, so that must be 3, 4, like that. Like so. You must go there to break off you. 1, 2, 3, 4, you're already cleared. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We know that for certain. We know that that's not you. That's all of these now criterias have been understood and met. And just to be certain, 1, 2, 3, which makes that 4. Wonderful. There we go. And now on to what appear to be the final 6. Let's see what comes of them then. Oh, very nice, very nice. Start with the most simple option that we have got, which was just that. And that's okay. We then also got that, which is quite good for us. It must be one of those two. We don't know which one. It must be one of those two. We don't know which one. But that's okay. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, look here. Let's look at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 2 up from the top, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 goes there. That blocks up you, that blocks up you. It must include you. That's all we can determine. So that's been dealt with. That one's been dealt with as well. Is there anything else that we can determine easily? Maybe. Maybe, just maybe. Maybe. Depends how many there all are, really. This line has a line of 2, and this line has a line of 2. That, surprisingly enough, is just all of them, which is good for us. That takes that out, that puts that there, that puts 1 there. Very good. So now we just know that there is a 1 somewhere in there. 1, 2, 3. That doesn't tell us too much. How many is on this line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Unfortunate. We can't determine anything on the 4 with the 6 around it. That's just too much information. And the same there for now. On this line, no, there's still far too many. Far too many at that point. There's still far too many on there. Ah, this line of 3 has been solved. Which lets us come here, put 1 there. Very good. That 3 must look like that. We know that. And that means that this 1 must look like this. Which means that that 3 must sit there. And that you must sit there. Oh, somewhere in there there's a 3. That's going to be fun to figure out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, are you all... Oh, you just don't quite reach there. That's unfortunate. But... what else? Let's think. Look back over some of the logic. Other things that we can see. You have 3, but that means there's only 1 that it's not. Okay. You can try and... Okay. Well, let's look at it this way. There must be one of these. It must include one of those two. So it can't be either of those, or that, or that. Which means it must include this one here in its logic. Which means that's not there. Which means that's there, that's there, that's not there. Those two go there like that, like so. And that leaves us with that pretty little pattern. 1, 2. Clears up both of those as well. Fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. That also means that we get to come up here a little bit. You have 1, 2, which means the third one must go there. Fantastic. Right. Can we look here? Not really. Not really. But you, well, you only have 2 possible options. They must be those 2. And that satisfies your conditions. Now, so, what about you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of those, but we can't tell which ones. Here's one thing we can tell. We can look at this one, and we can look at this one. We know that for this line, for example, it can't be 3 together, so it can't be either of those. For this one, it can't be this one. We know it must also be here, so it can't be this one, and it can't be this one. That tells us a lot. Very good. Now, what else do we know? Not a whole lot, unfortunately. But we're getting there. Slowly just chipping away. What about you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your conditions have been met. Which means you go there like that. Now what do we have? You have 1 that must be in one of those, yes? Good evening, Hazard. We hope you find yourself well, and any time you decide to spend here is greatly appreciated, so thank you for wanting to stop by. As you can see, we are currently doing some Hexcells and some puzzles here. We have 1, 2, it could be both of those, or it could be one of those, but either way, it must be involved in this section here. So it must include this one, and it can't be any of these. Lucas, salutations. We hope you find yourself well. This one, we still can't look at just yet, but we can look at that. That's very good for us. Now that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. Good. That helps us out a little bit as well. That one must go there to help sort this out. So, how are we looking? What conditions have been met? Well, those 2 have been met, so that's good. Marome's just finished streaming, so I'll be a little more active over here now. Thank you, Sunshine. And I hope that you found yourself well over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One of those is not. I never find myself well, but I wish I did. Well, that is unfortunate to hear. We hope that we were able to at least ail yourself. Gotta go. Thank you for stopping by, Hazard. Enjoy whatever it is that you have planned. The D&D stream went extremely well. You'll have to tell me all about it later. We'll have to study the results of that as well. What have we got here? We've got a 4, 1, 2, 3... No, we don't. Never mind. Do we have a 4 here? 1, 2, 3... No. Okay. Is this one doable? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Just 1 missing. Unfortunate. And what else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which puts that there. That clears you out. 1, 2, 3, 4 in one of those 2 squares. We don't know which just yet. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all of those there look like that. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 doesn't tell us much. You are still missing yours as well. But we learnt. We got something. We got a little something. Just a little more. A little tiny bit more. We've got 1 more somewhere on this line here. Surely there must be some way to learn this logic. 1, 2, one of those two. No, not yet. Not yet, unfortunately. And somewhere in there, we still don't have enough information yet on you either. You? 1, 2, 3... which means that 4 clears that up. That also doesn't help much, unfortunately. It'd be nice to break down into this section here, but unfortunately the only ones that sit along here are this line, and this line, and this line is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so we can't determine yet. Let's see. I know that there must be one in there. If it's that one, then it's if it's off this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2 of this line are not. We don't know which ones just yet. Well, no, because it might not be that one and it could be that one. So we can't just be like, oh, if it's this one, it can't be this one, because we don't know for a fact that it's this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't determine that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We also can't determine that one. Where are we missing? What information are we missing? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not going to be doing anything. We've got 3 there, and we've got 3 in there. What logic is there to miss? Again, we are always more than happy to hear any possible theories that might be had. Just give us some information, if you wish to try it. But don't just give us an answer, give us a theory. And of course, if we're missing anything obvious, by all means feel free to let us know. So we've got this, which is 1, 2, 3. Somewhere in there is 4, 5. So 2 of these are. If it's one of those, it's not that one. Wait, hold on. Oh, how did we miss this? 1, 2, 3. Goodness, sometimes that does a lot. That does a lot for us. Now we've got those 3. That clears up that whole line as well. There we go. That feels a lot better. Now with that sorted, that puts 1 there. And that line's now cleared out. This line we know is cleared out as well. We don't know much on this line, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we're still 1 short. Just 1. Unfortunate there. We don't know what this one is. No, we do know what that one is. We know that that one must be this. We can determine whether this one's one when we get some more information on some of these squares here. That much we can do. This lot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're still missing on that one as well. You're done now? Good, you're done now. Okay, and you must be a 1 as well. How do we miss seeing you? You are not done yet. You are still not done yet, and you don't have anything there to talk about. So, if it's that one there, it's that one there, and it's not that one, it's not that one, it's not that one. I don't think it can ever be this one. No, it can be, because if it's that one there, it's not that one there. It could be that one and that one, and it could not be that one. But it could be that one and that one, or that one and that one. So it can be this one, given this one's conditions. We can't determine that one's condition. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There is 1 in those 3. We don't know which one. And not entirely sure there's a way to deduce it yet. What logic are we missing? What logic have we even looked at then? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's still too many there. You are still too many there. You still have 3. You still have 1. And you are more full. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There. Okay. Now that we've sorted this out, it can't be this one. We know that that's there. It can't be you. Which puts 1 there. Very good. Finally. We started to break through some of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But it can't be both of those 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which, that's better. That's a lot better now. So you got 1, 2, 3. Clears that out. Good. Ah, DX man. Salutations and welcome. We have not seen you around here before. You join us in a puzzling moment and a puzzling time. Through Hexcells, we are having a lot of fun trying to ponder through this situation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At this point, the objective is to determine whether or not these hexagons are blue or black. To determine, you'll have some properties found out about them. Any cell that looks like this has 3 blues around it. If it has a dash next to it, it means that they are not all connected at once. And if it has something connected like this, it means that they're there like that. They're all connected. There is no breaks in between them. You could also have numbers on the outside, which indicate for that line or column. You're playing an investigation game with witches? You are now Fumi. That one I'm not familiar with. You may have me confused with somebody else. Unfortunately, that one does not sound too familiar to us. An investigation game with witches. No, we are not familiar with that. You must have us confused with someone else. We apologize. We are Ultrasonic Blur, a being from a space of existence beyond time, somewhere between a white and a black hole. We're enjoying understanding and learning this universe and some of the logics that it curtails to as well. It is rather fun. Let us see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of those 2 must be number 7. We still cannot determine it just yet. Can we look anywhere else along here, perhaps? This 5 must have some useful information for us somewhere. Ah, we can now determine this, which determines this, which puts all of that there like so. That is useful information for us. You have been satisfied, and now 1, 2, 3, 4. It must be one of those 2 there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 must be one of those 2. If it must be one of those 2, we've got 1, 2, 3. It still does not tell us much. But this might. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This tells us something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2. It cannot be both of those. That is useful information. Sort of, at the very least. Now, what else can we determine? Is there much more to determine? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is you sorted, and that's you done, which puts you there. No, we misclicked. That is unfortunate, but that is okay. We still have most things in place. What about you? Can we come back to you at all? Not particularly. Not particularly at all. Yes, it appears to be that way. We have also had something interesting with it. Seems like there's some, the best way we can describe it is some synaptic resonance. Some people seem to be, having similar thoughts or experiences to some of the things we have done. The old one is gone. Oh, well, Professor Layton games, you say? We'll have to write that down for our research. We'll have a look at that at some point in time. We have some ideas for things that we want to learn, but as it stands right now, we are enjoying just data analysis and processing. Because there is so much here to this universe, we thought it important to make sure that we get all that information down correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4 goes there. You cannot go there. Now we come back to here and we know that they must situate themselves like that. Fantastic. Now 1, 2, that situates there. You're satisfied and you are satisfied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You are satisfied. Perfect. That puts that there in this spot. Where do we find ourselves now? Let's see. Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all we know. But 1, 2, 3, 4, and that there. That still tells us that it's just one of those two. We still have not yet determined on this one, but we should be able to now. 1, 2, which means it's there and not there. Wonderful. Now we just get back to this section here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that tells us a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4 tells us that none of these are, which helps us push out just a little bit. Which now means we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that clears up that and that like so. Now we come there and there. And we slowly start piecing more and more of this together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means that you're not, which means you are. 1, 2, 3 means that you are, and that's those two cleared out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, which keeps that out, and with 0 remaining, that must mean that this looks like so. And that is not looking too shabby for us. Not looking too shabby at all. We shall give it one more little one. And look at this. This is another fun little logic one. Oh, goodness. So, let's see what logic we can determine here. 4, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1. There are 16 here. So, here's something that we can see already. In this section, 1 must be in this line, 1 must be here. It can never be either of those. So that tells us a lot already. There must be 2 spaces around here that are blank. One of them must go here, and one of them must go here. So, we know for a fact that it must include this one and this one. That is what we can determine there so far. There are 3 in this line, but we don't know how close together they find themselves. We know there are 4 in this line. We don't know how close they find themselves. But we might be able to do a little bit of logic here to determine if these ones are or not. So, let us see. We have 2, 4, which is 6, and then 11, which takes care of all of those parts there, and there are 14 still remaining. That means that this one must be one, let's see, it was 1, 3, 5, 10, which means we've got 14 still remaining, so that one, that one, that one, and that one should all be ones as well. There we go. That's a nice little bit of counting for us. This tells us very little, unfortunately. Just the similar logic that we'd already applied here. 2 of these must be, we don't know which ones. 2 of these must be, which means one of these 2 is the space that this 5, it's only one of these squares. So one of these is it is not this one. And one of these squares also must be involved in that. That we know for certain. We can now also as well check here with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, like so. That clears that one's logic, which clears that one's logic. We now also as well see that that's that situation there sorted. This one's got its 3. How now do we come to this situation? Well, We know that there must be one here, so there must be one here, which means there can't be one here. This now tells us that that goes there, that goes there, that goes there to satisfy that condition, and that final one there is remaining. Well, that one was a little shorter than we had potentially expected, but let's see what this one has in store for us. Quite a bit, it seems. Quite a bit indeed. A lot of fun as well. 10 connected, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's that line all dealt with. This line we can see a little bit from. That line we've already seen everything we needed to. This one looks to be as though it is going to have a lot of... Yes! Okay, so this one's going to be rather fun. It appears that it is going to give us no information from the regular cells, but rather from the blue cells, and the blue cells only. Oh, such joy this is going to be. There are lots of fun little things to learn here, and we will start by just sorting whatever information is readily and easily available to us. For example, almost all of the stuff that we have already done. This here and this here tells us that all of these must look like that. And like so. So that's pretty good for us. 1, 2, 3, 4. That must look like that, like 5. Not quite the easiest bit of logic, but we can do that while we're there as well. So now then, where to start? Let's start here. 2 there. That clears both of those out. 1, 2, 3. That clears you out. You must be there, so that clears you out. 1, 2. That clears you out. There's 5, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, which means you must be 1. So you're satisfied, your conditions have been satisfied as much as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means that you must be 1, so that clears up you as best as possible. 1, 2, 3 means that all of these are not. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not quite as useful as we had hoped, but not too unhopeful yet. So, one of those must be 1. We don't know which one just yet. Thank you for telling us the same information. 1, 2, 3, 4. We know that it must be either there or there. If it's there, then it's these two. So we can start narrowing down some logic. 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not that one then. It's not that one. There we go. Because these two have the same in the same space, so it's probably also not this one then. Because these two share the same number, and if they share the same number and 2 of the same cells, then it must be 2 of these ones in here, which means it cannot be this one. That's all we can tell from these two together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it narrows it down just a little bit here. Just a little bit. Perhaps this one might tell us something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we missed this square. That is unfortunate, but that is okay. We can still figure some of this out without too much issue. What do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, you're not, and you're not then, so that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. You must be 1 there. So that clears you, that clears you. Your logic is all sound now. You don't tell us too much. So let's see. This line here still doesn't quite tell us enough. This one still has more information to give. This one, not quite enough yet. But this one, well, this 5 and this 3 tell us that goes there, and this tells us this goes here like so. Now that we've cleared that out, that clears you. 1, 2, 3 must be there, so that gets rid of you. That goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go there like that. Your conditions have been met, and your conditions have been met. 3, 2, 1, 2 goes there. So 1, 2, and 3. You must be 1. And we know that it's 1, 2, so it's not you. That's all we can determine from you for now. Well, that's your conditions met, and that's your conditions met. Your conditions have been fulfilled entirely. Yours have as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, not quite just yet. So let's look further down. 1, 2, 3 must be 4 and 5 to fill that in perfectly. This square here will probably come to on this diagonal at some point. So 1, 2, 3, your conditions are met. 1, 2, 3, 4, your conditions are met. Your conditions are met. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yours are met. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's met. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're met. You're met. 1, 2, 3, 4. Must be there. 5. You have those two cleared out like so. Your conditions are met. Your conditions are met. 1, 2. Somewhere in there is 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3. What's this do? What does what do? Excuse me? Request a fact. Ah, you wish to request a fact then, and you have chosen number 7. Yes, give us a moment. We shall acquire our book of knowledge. One of the first things we did was just scatter knowledge as best we could before we realized there was so much we had need of perhaps finding a bit better system. So yes, like we said, we will. Let's go to page number 7 then. Number 7, here we are. Page number 7. Yes, correct. Here is an interesting one. The lawnmower is the most dangerous item that could be found within the garden. The second most dangerous is the flower pot. So we've been making sure to stay clear of such things, knowing the danger of them. We thought it best not to endanger ourselves too much, as it were. So there are certainly some objects of concern in this world, as it were. Your conditions are met. Yes. Okay. But yes, you will receive a random fact. Choose a page, and I will answer a question. And don't worry about accidentally repeating someone. They're large enough pages where there's multiple facts on them. Always knew to never trust the flower pot. We shall take your word for that. We shall take your word indeed. At face value as well. 1, 2, 3. You're not there, so that's fine. Well, we know it's there. That just doesn't help us at all in any way, unfortunately. So let's see. Having painted ourselves into a bit of a corner, is there any way to paint ourselves out of the corner? Possibly. Maybe. Not sure just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not you. That's all we can tell from that. 1, 2, 3. You're not one. And where else can we look? Is there anywhere we can jump through, perhaps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 has already been secured, so that's that dealt with. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's like that, which means that goes there, like so. Your conditions have been met. 1, 2, 3, 4, which means that it must be 5 and 6. And your conditions are met. Very good. 1, 2 means that the third one goes there. And your conditions have already been met. So yeah, if your conditions have been met, your conditions have been met. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 in there, but it can't be both of those. So if it can't be both of those, it must include this one. That's what we can learn from that. And this one, we still don't know anything yet. This one is finished. This one is finished, so that's good. This one is finished, so that's good as well. Now, what do we have to find further along then? Still missing 1 in this section here. We are still missing a couple in this section here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Somewhere in there. So, is this one's conditions met now? 1, 2, 3 must be in one of those two for 4. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 in there. Okay. But it must be 2 in there, actually, given that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 in that little bit there. So we start narrowing down just a little bit more. Little bit more. ever so slightly, chipping it away. This 4 means that there can only be 1 in this line, correct? So this one and this one must be 1, and it's one of those two. So 1, 2, it's not you. That's your conditions as met as possible. You have been met now, so that gets rid of that square. Or hex, as we should say properly. Where to now? Well, we know that it must be one of those two, so it's not that one. Which means it must be, for this one, it must be that one. Okay. So, looking at this one again, we've got 1, 2, must be one of those 3. This line here has already been fulfilled, so it must be one of those 2. Perfect. So, let's see what we can do with this 3. Let's see. We've got 1 here, and we've got 1 here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. So there's a couple of combinations that can be. Okay. Okay. That's still okay for now. And is there anything we can look at here? Just one of those 2. Doesn't tell us a whole lot, unfortunately. This one also doesn't tell us a whole lot, unfortunately. It should, though. Should it not? Yes, because there's 2 here. So that 2 breaks there, which means that in order for that to be satisfied, that must be 1. So that drops that down. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. What can we see here? Not much. What can we see here? Not a whole lot. We just know that it can't be this one and this one. So that's all we know. We've got 1... Oh no, it could be this one. So we've got 1 left in this line. Okay. Yep, we knew that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means it's neither of those 2. That's conditions as met as possible. 3, there's still 4, which is unfortunate. But what else could we look at? What else can we see? What else can we know? What else can we do? Not a whole lot. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't actually touch it, so let's see. What do you say? You say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 2 in this section here, which means that none of these can be. Oh, goodness. Wait, why can they be 1, 2... Why can they both be? That's unfortunate. We're not 100% sure why that can be. Why can that be? Because we've got... Oh, goodness, I've just kicked the wire. Ah. Oof. Let's see. Let's see. What and why could that be in that configuration? You've got 1 there, 2... 3... Yeah, 1, 2, 3... 4 and 5 must sit in here. Surely they must sit in here. They can't not sit anywhere else. Can they not? Why is that looking like that situation? We're not 100% sure at that point, but now that leaves 1, 2, 3. Whatever that leaves us with, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How does that work in that situation? Well, that's had its criteria met. That's had its criteria. That one has had its criteria met. So this is 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 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 How does 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you've got 1 must be here. 2, 3, 4, 5. How did that one... Something must have... Oh, we must have... Oh, I see what we did. We had 1, 2, 3, and then we accidentally incorporated it there. That is unfortunate. But that is okay. How are we looking elsewhere? Perhaps something here? No. 1, 2, 3 doesn't tell us much. Now you've got 1, 2, and we know it must be in this lot here. So it can't be you, it can't be you, it can't be you. which now means we can come back here. We can fill in this one. Your criteria has been met. Your criteria has been met, which means that that kills that. That goes there. That goes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That clears that. 1, 2. We're not 100% sure here, but 1, 2, 3 clears up this with 1, 2, 3. Yep, that clears that out quite nicely. This one has 1, 2, 3, so its condition is met, and this one's conditions are met. This one, we're not sure yet, but this here tells us 1, 2, 3, so that can't be 1. This one tells us that this one must be 1, so that answers that. That clears up this row. This line is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, so it's one of those two. We don't know which one just yet. But let's look here. 1 must be in those 3. 1 must be in those 3. 1 must be in those 3. 1, 2, 3. So it cannot be this one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, which means it must be this one, which means it's not this one, which means it is this one. Thank you for telling us that you have 0 in you. Your 1, 2, 3, so your conditions have been met. Your conditions are met. Your conditions are met. Your conditions are met. Which blocks off a large portion there. Now we come to this line, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 like so, which clears that out. And then we come here, we don't need to worry about that just yet, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means that that goes there like that, which means that that one's conditions are met by doing that. This one's a met, this one's a met, this one's a met. Now we just have this line at 1, 2, 3, 4, which means it must be there, which means that we have now solved the puzzle by doing just one last, and there we are. Not too bad. An unfortunate mistake, an unfortunate miscalculation, but nevertheless, it was not too bad for us. And we think that that will be a good spot for us to go ahead and end things at. We've done a fair few. We may come back to Hexcells in the future at some point. It is very fun, and perhaps we end streams with some of these things. That could be something that we look at doing instead. That would be a nice way to potentially round out the evening on things. However, for now, that is where we are going to go ahead and end off this data stream. The analysis has been complete for the most part, and we have certainly enjoyed it. We hope you have found that this enjoyable as well. If you have, then we will very much like to see you next time around. For now, though, we have been Ultrasonic Blur, and we will see you all next time.